Welcome to Global Village. Thank you very much for joining us today. We are airing today from the Brooks Legion in Brooks. We are very great today to have our MLA, Mr. Drew Barnes from Medicine at Cypress, who's been in the program before. Welcome to the program.
Ahmed, welcome. Thank you.
We also have Mary Haspher. She is the secretary of the Legion Board. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Yeah, Drew, and thank you very much. I think we love to have you all the time because you have a lot of experience in terms of social, politics, and business. Tell us a little bit about yourself, those new people who are watching now.
Great. Well, first of all, really happy to be here again today. Thank you for this. A little bit about me. I think three things. First of all, principally, I'm a family man. Married to Frances for 29 years. I have three boys. Youngest still in high school playing basketball. Secondly, I'm a community person. Medicine Hat, southeastern Alberta, up to Brooks, and all around Cypress County and 40 Mile County. I've lived here since 1974. Love the people, the way of life, the weather. There's lots of community things that I'm very proud of. And then thirdly, I'm a business person as well as a politician. Mm-hmm. Those are the two focuses of my life that's not family or community.
Thank you very much. Mary, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm a Legion member, have been for about 29 years. We moved to Brooks about 12 years ago. I work at the college as well, and most of the Legion members do have other jobs in the community. So I have my husband of 34 years almost, and two grown sons. So yeah, I firmly believe that not only do you owe something to your community for in the work you do, the paid work, but you need to volunteer as well. And I'm pretty passionate about the Legion, so this is where I focus my volunteer efforts. Okay?
Thank you very much for volunteering to the great cause of the community.
Thank you.
Yeah, Drew, you want to tell us the difference level of the government in terms of both provincial and the federal?
Okay, well, sure. I decided to go into provincial politics because of the three main things it focuses on. Very, very important to families and communities. Healthcare, education, and then our social fabric, our safety net, our opportunity to have a strong economy and those kind of things. Mm-hmm. So essentially those are the three things that the province focuses on. Education touches us all, healthcare through our friends and our families touches us all, and ourselves, of course. Mm-hmm. And then the social fabric, ensuring we have a strong economy, ensuring people that need some cultural support or need a temporary hand up to ensure that is supported, mm-hmm. are very important. Of course, federally, they're more responsible for international trade, monetary things, and military things. Yeah. And I just felt for me, Ahmed, that province and Alberta was where I was best focused and most interested.
Okay, so you mentioned health and also education and social. Those are the things that the province is responsible for. What they're doing about, for example, on the education side and the health side?
Okay, well, education, the new government right now is looking at a full curriculum review. As a rural Albertan, I think that it's important that we have local decision making, that we have our local parents, our good local teachers and administrators involved in ensuring that the values and the curriculum that's taught is relevant. In Alberta, we're a strong leader in Canada in education, and it's important that we stay that way. Healthcare is a interesting situation, Ahmed, because we are spending so much money. We spend the most per capita of any province in Canada, and we're not getting the results. Too often we've slipped to the bottom of the pack in terms of wait times, in terms of transplants, in terms of important surgeries. So again, I think the solution there is local autonomy. People in Medicine Hat and Brooks and Cypress and 40 Mile, let's give them authority, let's give them some finances, and let them sort out what is most efficient and best needed. Those are the things that will get us more value. Right now, healthcare is 55% of the revenue that comes in Alberta. That is not sustainable.
Wow, wow, that's a little bit. That won't be sustainable for a long time.
Exactly. We have to think about the next generation.
Yeah, yeah. Mary, you want to touch base with the history of the Legion? the
So-
Canadian Legion?
The Royal Canadian Legion was founded in just after World War I as an organization to help veterans. So 1926, the Legion was formed. In 1928, the Brooks Legion got their charter, which means we got our recognized as an official branch. So we've been operating ever since then. It's an organization that's still dedicated to serving veterans, but we've expanded. We have a number of other things that we do as well. We want to help the youth, help with we help purchase medical equipment and things like that in the community.
So Brooks Legion was founded same time or just later?
2 years later, in 1926, the Legion was formed, and then in 1928, the Brooks Legion got their charter.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've been around for a while. So throughout Canada and the Commonwealth, there's been Legion organizations.
Everywhere in Canada.
We just celebrated our 90th anniversary last year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
10 years, I think. Brooks is 110, I think now, 115 or 110
The community
years.
of Brooks?
Yeah, the
Right.
city. I think
So-
it was 100th anniversary on 2005, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Brooks, yeah. Yeah. What is as a business person, for example, Drew, in the past, how you think we should be able to attract investors to Alberta, especially to the southeastern of Alberta?
Yeah, thanks for that question. We need to create certainty. Investors and businesses crave certainty. They need to know what their taxation is going to be. They need to know that future deficits aren't going to get in the way of their business plans, and they need the right amount of regulation. Regulations are very, very expensive to business. Unfortunately, in Alberta, under this current government and the government before, we've had the highest per capita spending of all the provinces in Canada. That has led to huge deficits, big deficits even when oil was $100 a barrel. That has scared away a lot of businesses because they know that that deficit is a potential future tax on business. So Ahmed, what we need to do is get our per capita spending in line. I believe, and through great work like Community People, as Marie's mentioning, like the Legion, we can have better services if we focus on communities and we can focus on local decision making. So let's get our per capita spending in line. Let's have our taxation so it's the most competitive taxation regime in all of Canada. And then rules and regulations. Too often you hear of somebody that takes 2 or 3 years to get approval for a business or approval for, an energy idea, and that is just too long. And those are the things that the government has to work on to streamline. Yes, we have to be safe. Yes, we have to good handle on where things are going, but let's not get in the way of our good business people.
That's a good message. So the same thing then. How would you attract the labor force, as we were just talking a few minutes ago of the camera? How would you attract the labor force? Because business need a labor also.
Yeah, absolutely. We need a good, strong labor force. That's where our good colleges and our universities come in, and our high schools, of course, a lot too. Alberta has been fortunate with the highest average incomes in all of Canada, so that needs to continue. And we need to ensure that businesses have access to a good workforce, access to temporary foreign workers if that's what's required, if that's the best. And we need to ensure that workers are treated fairly, workers have the chance to compete for the services they provide, so they can be paid as much as possible as well. If workers are winning and business is winning, then communities are winning, then the government's winning, and that's what it's all about.
So from the bottom up.
The bottom up, absolutely. There's 4.1 million Albertans, and all of us have good ideas and a lot to add to the fabric of life, and please give us the opportunity to do that is what I would suggest.
Okay, no, that's very great, I think. Marie, how would, for example, someone to be a member with the Legion, for example? What's the process like if somebody wants to be a member in the Legion?
We welcome anybody to come and be a member. So if it's the membership category is a little bit different if you're a veteran or if you're not a veteran or if you have family that was in the Legion, but it doesn't matter whether you did or not. We still welcome anyone to come and join. And all they need to do is come in, talk to any one of the members, anybody in the Legion, and say, I'd like to be a member. Who can I talk to? We can give them an application form. We can walk them through. We have little booklets that we hand out that talks about what the Legion does, and there's an application form in it. We never turn members away because we're always appreciative. Everybody has something to offer, and lots of people have different skills. So it's nice to have that mix of community members here. We have just about 400 members. So
Wow, that's very good.
yeah, it's good.
So if you are a member here, would you be able also to stop by, let's say, if I'm in Medicine Hat and I'm going to see Drew Barnes, would I be able to stop by the Legion in Medicine Hat? Or
Absolutely.
you have to be a member on a specific area?
Nope. Once you're a member of the Legion, you're a member of the Legion across Canada. So you can go to any Legion. My husband and I went across Canada in 2011, and that was one of our things. We stopped at as many Legions as we could, because they will often tell you what's in the community, where to go, places of interest, and we could hear things about how is that community doing. So yeah, our membership cards got us in any of those places. And there's some member perks, things at this branch. You get a discount on meals and things like that. Plus the feeling of being a part of something large. I've been to a couple of their provincial and Dominion conventions, and it's just amazing how those decisions are made. I've really enjoyed it.
No, and you guys are doing great, and we hope to increase the number of the members for the next few months.
Yep, that would be great.
Yeah, will work. Yeah, Drew, what is the importance of the XL pipeline to the Albertans, especially in Canada in general, and especially Albertans? Knowing now we have the new administration of Mr. Trump, which have every intent to continue that building that pipeline,
Yeah.
which is good news for the people.
Good news for the people. Gives us an opportunity to have greater access to markets with our product, our oil. Huge accomplishment, huge innovation and expertise that Albertans already show, getting bitumen, getting oil and gas out of the ground, into the pipeline, into where consumers can use it. So it gives us an opportunity for that. Second, pipelines are the most safe way to transport, so that will be important as well. But Ahmed, we can't lose sight of the fact, though, that the Keystone Pipeline is more oil into America.
Yeah.
Currently, America is our only customer.
Yeah.
And because of that, quite often, America pays us 20% less than our product is worth if there's too much supply and they have the opportunity to do that. So please, to your viewers, to people in southeastern Alberta, let's not lose sight of getting access to other markets. The number one access is the Energy East, where the whole pipeline stays in Canada and gets pipelines and down to refineries in Quebec and in New Brunswick, and that will be crucial for use in Eastern Canada and helping our whole country. And secondly, to the BC coast, where we can get some of our product to the Asian market. If we can get those two things happen, we will receive world value for our product more often, and that will increase all of our standards of living.
Yeah, but just follow up of that question, Drew, is in order for viable business to succeed in life, you have to expand your clients. And that's just common for the business. So why would not the previous governments think of expanding the market other than the one in the US?
Yeah, I think they were trying. I hope we get these pipelines. I hope the current work that the NDP government has done in Alberta works, but there are something like 200 conditions on the two pipelines that are approved. So there's a long way to go yet. But I would suggest, Ahmed, that it's up to Prime Minister Trudeau.
Yep.
It's up to our provincial partners, especially British Columbia,
Yep.
but also Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Quebec and Ontario, to ensure that we have access. Albertans everywhere tell me that they want to continue to be a strong leader in Canada. We want the opportunity to be a leader economically and culturally, so allow us access to do that. And I would hope and think that let's have that discussion, let's have that communication, so we can create some wealth for all of Alberta, for all of Canada.
So we should be able to have the access of the Asian market as well.
Absolutely. If our oil and gas can go to other markets other than America, America less often will be able to offer us a discount that we'll have to take. Again, back to the Energy East, if we keep all the production to refineries in Canada, that is the best way to increase opportunities and taxation and wealth for all Canada.
Oh, I hope that's where we're heading now.
I do too.
Yes.
And hope the provincial governments will be able to also work closely with Alberta governments for the common good of all Canadians.
That's it exactly.
Yeah. So, Marie, the education part, for example, the Legion members, most of them are the ones who sacrifice the freedom we enjoy today. Are we doing enough to educate the next generation about those sacrifices? Are we going to the schools? Are we intend to do that, or is that something that the board probably should be thinking of, educating the new generation of the sacrifice that was made the old generation?
So our big time of year is Remembrance Day, of course, because that's when we want people to remember the veterans and those people who have lost their lives and those family members that were left behind when their husbands, sons, daughters went out to war. So we go to the schools, and they're usually quite happy to have us come there, and we do presentations to the students. We encourage their participation in poster and essay contests. So again, that's a learning curve, and we have some really amazing entries from the schools here. So that's part of our way of spreading the information. And the other way is through having young people come in here, because really the World War II veterans are going to be at least 90 years old or older, so there's very few of them left. There are still veterans from other conflicts like Afghanistan, but there's not a lot of the older veterans left. So we need to share this message with younger people. So what we try and do is have people come in. So for instance, the cadets, they come in, they volunteer. Events like this where you're bringing young people in, where they can find out what the Legion is about. That's one way of educating. And then sometimes it's just a matter of, we'll be asked a question, so what does the Legion do? What are you there for? So we try and answer that. But as much as possible, we're trying to bring younger people in so that they can see what the Legion's about.
And I think, thank you very much. I think the idea of also us trying, as a global village, trying with the Legion to increase the number of the youth participation, so to have the youth and senior Legion connection, I think will help the youth to understand the sacrifice that was made, the previous generation, which everybody has to know.
They need to remember that, because that's our way of saying this was a terrible way to solve a problem. There's got to be better ways, right? So
that is very true. Is that the base in Medicine Hat? Is this part of your writings?
It's just on the edge of Cypress County, and so the Battis people, the Canadian military people, and of course a lot of times NATO people come around and use that. So I mean, and I'm so glad to hear about what the Legion's doing, and I mean, to honor our service people is absolutely crucial. It's the #1 role of government, and I'm very appreciative of the work you're doing.
Thank you very much, both of you. So Mr. Drew, what are the advantages of having a diverse community such as the one that we have, this beautiful city, Brooks, Kant of Newell, Medicine Hat, and other parts of Canada?
Well, we have so many advantages. Every single unique person adds so much value. In life, it's the small things that count. So let's start there. The friendships that you and I have, the friendships that people in Brooks and Medicine Hat have, cross cultures, cross countries is significant. And then in a bigger way, the fact that cultures can learn from each other economically, whether it's technology innovation or socially, whether it's the opportunity to engage in building the fabric of a community. Canada was built on immigration. Canada is still undergoing that, and there's so many good things of getting people with different ideas, different cultures, and different thoughts together, and in an open and full way, let's work together to make it better.
And but you will always have those people who have opposed to the idea of diverse population for whatever the reason they have. I call them, those are maybe ignorance for the reality. Today's reality. But your opinion is a diversity will add the strength of the
Absolutely. Diversity will add strength for all of us, for our economy, for our way of life, for our culture. And I think the key is information, and too often people haven't had the opportunity to see what different cultures can add, and to see what working together can add. And things do take time. And again, because as a conservative, I'm such a believer in local decision making. Mm-hmm. If in our communities, if we keep working together, if we keep talking, if we keep socializing, we eventually will make Canada as strong as it deserves to be, and continue on the strong track that we're already on.
There you go, and we'll keep this land to be land of opportunity.
Absolutely.
Marie, what would you like the community to help, and how they can help?
We always welcome new members, but even if people are unsure about whether they want a membership, we are certainly open to having volunteers, or if people just want to come in. We have lots of events that go on. You don't have to be a member to come into these social events, and we serve like meals. We have sports organizations. We have darts and crib and pool and all sorts of different leagues. And in fact, in May, we're hosting the Dominion Championships for darts. We're pretty proud of that. So we're going to have teams from all across Canada coming in with their cheering sections, we hope, to come in and compete for the dart championship. So, you know, there's lots of room for people to come in and just, if you want to observe, you just want to come in and see what the Legion has to offer, that's fine. If you want to volunteer, that's fine too. If you want to be a member, we welcome anyone. So, yeah. Wow. And really, you just need to come in and talk to anybody who's here. Come in on a Thursday night when we have our special wing night, and there's lots of camaraderie and fellowship and laughter, and it's lots of fun.
There you go. No, we will definitely come. Mr. Drew, this incident that happened in Quebec that was tragic. Young man decided to go to a worship place, the mosque, decided to shoot people who were at the mosque at the time for no reason. How could we do something collectively so we can prevent such tragic in the future?
Yeah. Thanks for that question, and God bless, of course, the families and the friends of everybody that was directly involved and indirectly. I mean, what a huge shock that would be on communities, of the Muslim faith. I think the best way is community get-togethers, the education that comes from us working together, us talking together, the opportunity to get to understand each other and grow true friendships, true social networks, and I mean, maybe even business opportunities if that's what people are interested in. It's an absolute total shame that happened. I guess a small silver lining for a terrible event is people in southeastern Alberta have pulled together even more. The mosque in Medicine Hat, as an example, has had 2 or 3 open houses and invited people with great attendance and a greater understanding of how similar we are, how caring we are, and I believe that the silver lining will be an opportunity for people to be closer together.
Yeah, I believe they had a open house last Sunday for everybody to go there in Medicine Hat Mosque. But it's very much reassuring what you said, Drew, as an MLA and a great person. A similar message also we had from our mayor as well as MLA, our mayor, our Molly Douglas, Martin Shields, as well as Derek, to the Muslim group of people that here in Brooks and County of New York.
Good.
And that was reassuring from their part of the community because they were very nervous.
Yeah, and understandably so. I mean, when something that random, that extreme can happen, it makes you wonder what the future is going to bring, and the anxiety that comes from that. So hopefully, in a small way, hopefully we're all able to help those affected.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Yeah, Marie, what message would you like to share with the viewers in terms of whether the Legion or whether from education part of the college, for example, for the youth to continue school and continue higher education and value of education for their own future?
So obviously, since I work in that system, I'm a firm believer in education as a way to meet your life's goals. And it doesn't matter if you decide to go into the trades, if you want to go into nursing, if you want to go into a profession of some sort or accounting, whatever your strength is, I'm a firm believer that that's a good step in the right direction for getting the qualifications you need. And like Drew mentioned, we want to attract people to Alberta. Well, we also want to keep the people we have here, grow our local talent, because people will stay close to home if they can find what they need. And Brooks is an amazing, amazing community in terms of the people that live here and the diversity. I don't think people outside of Brooks or in other communities realize how lucky we are to have such a diverse population. At the college, we see so many different people from so many different countries, and it's amazing how much we can learn too in our classes, and to watch people work together and, you know, apparently not even notice that there is a difference. I think that's impressive. So there's lots to be offered by going on in continuing education and staying close to home, and yeah.
No, that's very nice of you, and I hope the kids will listen and will continue to go higher education and not leave the school.
I hope so too.
There you go. The legislature, you guys will be going back, or you went back to the legislature last Thursday.
Yeah, throne speech was
Yesterday.
Yesterday was Thursday, and we start Monday with debating and question period and the more, you know, debating time.
And very soon you will have the budget.
March 16th, they announced yesterday the budget is going to be released on March 16th, and it'll be interesting to see the financial shape of Alberta.
Okay, and we hope good things comes out of the budget.
We absolutely do. We need the price of oil to recover a bit, but let's, as you know, all Albertans are diverse, and they're able to take some of these tougher times and take the opportunity that can be found in these tougher times. So there are some signals that the Alberta economy has been a bit stronger the last little while, and let's work together to make sure it happens.
Okay, so my final question to you, Drew, is what message do you have for the viewers in terms of hope, resilience, knowing that 2016 was a rough year for everybody in Alberta, so then they can look forward a better days ahead? So what message do you have for the viewers?
Oh, the message is one of community, one of hope. Let's work together. Let's work together to ensure that our families and our friends and our communities stay strong. Let's work together to look and explore for new opportunities. I said earlier, it's the small things that count. So let's not forget when there's an opportunity to reach out to another human being, to a family person, a friend. Please take the time to do that. And you know, sometimes in these challenges, especially Albertans, have shown that we have the opportunity to be stronger and rise above it, and that is the hope, and that's exactly what I think will happen.
Thank you very much, sir, and
Thank
we
you.
hope as you mentioned, the oil, whether through the X pipeline or XL pipeline or other pipelines, that soon we will get other options for Far East Asia and other places. So the Albertans and Canadians in general will benefit the energy of Alberta.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, both of you. Thank you very much, Mary, for coming
Thank
to
you
the
for
program.
inviting me. It's good to be here.
Thank you very much, as always,
Thank you very much. Nice to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate
and
it.
thanks for coming all the way from Medicine Hat. It's always for a change for you to drive back here. This was the end of the program Global Village. This is where the East meets the West. And we are very honored to have today our great MLA, Mr. Drew Barnes from Medicine Hat Cypress, and Mary Haspher from the Legion Board Secretary, as well as Medicine Hat College in Brooks Camps. Until then, life is too short. God bless you.